Anyways, a lot of fun stuff planned today.
Who do we have today, boys?
We got Kevin Love.
Okay.
We have Jaime Jaquez Jr.
There we go.
We got it. We're pushing through. We're not doing this. You know what? Let's do the whole thing over again. Nope, we're not. We're pushing through. And we got Duncan Robinson. Hopefully, we talked to all those guys. And we're going to just, it's the Dan Le Batard Show. We like to have fun.
You're going to Kevin love it.
All right, we're here with Kevin Love. Welcome back, Kevin. You're here first full season with the Miami Heat. How are we feeling?
Feel great. This is year 16 for me, but I get the first full season with the Heat, get to go through training camp, know where I'm living. I'm not living out of a hotel anymore.
That must be nice.
Yeah, things are good.
What keeps you coming back? You're 16.
Just the love for the game. Like, I still have that raw, youthful hunger. The energy is still there. The love for the game is still there. And I think that was renewed, especially when I left Cleveland and came here. Just the way that they operate, their attention to detail, their go out and get it type of mentality. I think it's certainly not for everybody, but kind of where I was at in my career and having a big role on a team that ended up making it to the NBA Finals. I think that keeps me coming back for more. So I feel like I found a home here.
All right, softballs are done. What's the most annoying part of an NBA season in your 16th year?
It's easy to say bringing along the young guys with all the bad habits, but we have a UCLA guy that we added, so we're in a good place here.
You started telling him like old man boring UCLA stories yet?
I'm going to. It's coming.
What's the first one?
It's definitely coming. I'm gonna tell him about like some I don't know, some Bill Walton story that was like back in my day type of shit.
We have a segment for that, by the way.
Yeah, okay, yeah. No, so he'll be good. He was actually I don't watch much college basketball anymore. I'm one of those guys. I think the game is top heavy. Outside of that, I mean, you guys tell me you guys watch college basketball.
I mean, you watch
college football?
Yeah, college football. We're locked in.
I watch college football. I'm locked in on college football, but I don't know. Outside of UCLA, some of the teams that they end up playing, some of the high draft picks, I don't really watch college basketball. I'm NBA to the fullest. But he is certainly a player that I watched through and through because UCLA was and always will be my team, so I'm happy to have him. But he's certainly going to get caught with some of those heaters with those stories that he's not going to like.
Kevin, not to make you feel old, bro, but I used to play as you in NCAA basketball, the video game. I was like, dude, this guy's so cold right now.
I feel like I was one of the last.
You're like the last. You and Blake.
The last game. Yeah, that's right.
Guys.
That's right. Blake was the next year because he was on the cover. He was. He won National Player of the Year. So yeah, Oklahoma. I think that was it too.
Yeah, like after Blake's season, it was done. There was no more NCAA basketball
because they don't need to bring it back because college basketball. It's like you could have 12 teams and that could be it.
All I've heard this offseason and late last season was what a great locker room guy you were. Can you kind of paint a picture of what that looks like? Are they, I hope, overhyping it a little? Or is there any part of you they're like, I'm just a guy?
Well, typically you hear a great locker room guy and you're like, okay, he's a shit player. Right. So for me, end of the bench. So for me, I like to,
it did seem before you got here that the locker room, there were reports not having a lot of fun. So like, did you actually have to get in there and do some leading? Like, what did that look like? I was just unapologetically myself. I lead in my own way, but certainly bring a lot of humor to the table. Everybody would, I feel like most people don't have an understanding of who I am because you're not in like the trenches with us. You're not in the locker room with us. So I just try to bring a lot of levity to the situation. Who's the guy we give shit to the most?
Give shit to the
Duncan?
most? For sure, Duncan.
We're going to talk to Duncan a little bit. You want to say something to Duncan through us?
Duncan is you
almost went. You almost went to a place you didn't want to go. What happened there?
Duncan is my boy, but no, you guys need to ask him about shooting at MSG.
Shooting at MSG, okay.
Remember this. If you can remember this, be like, how great of a place is MSG to shoot at? Like MSG is the spot. Forget it's being the mecca of basketball. It's right in the middle of the city. It's this unbelievable place in Midtown. It has all this rich history. But shooting there, especially, isn't that great? Hit him with that.
He'll be shook, right?
No, he's going to be shook, but he's also going to be like, Kevin, that motherfucker, man. I swear to God.
Who's the funniest guy?
I'm allowed to say that on this, right?
Of course, dude. You can say whatever.
Say more.
Who's the funniest guy you've been with in a locker room?
Funniest guy ever?
Yeah.
Oof.
You played on a lot of teams, a lot of funny guys. Who's the funniest?
I'll give you one that people would not expect, who is so funny and helped bring me along in the league. And, I mean, was an absolute monster before he tore his ACL. I saw him put 40 and 20 on Yao. Prime Yao was Al Jefferson.
Wow.
Big Al.
Yeah, Prentice,
Great
Mississippi.
Voice. All-time voice.
All-time voice. And having him as a veteran, listen, was greatness. Anybody that has known Al, played with Al, been around Al long enough, I don't think he gets enough credit. I mean, before he got hurt, he was an absolute bucket getter.
Thank you. Oof. Good segue here. Top 5 bucket getters for you in the NBA.
Ever? Oh, man.
Don't just think points per game. Like, they might have been a guy that was a
Kevin knows. Kevin's a real hooper.
I'm explaining it to him.
Yeah, why are you explaining it to him?
Yeah, like, listen, you could go with, like, I played against Monte Ellis.
Oof. Bucket.
What about Steven Jackson?
Bucket.
People don't give. Yeah, I was still in the league, but I caught him at pretty much the tail end was AI. I mean, AI. You got to throw AI in there. It's a no-brainer.
Bucket.
I can't, I'd be remiss if I didn't say Kobe, just because he was like a planet. He just brought people into his orbit, and he could be. I've literally have never seen somebody go 4-on-1 or 5-on-1, or 1-on-5 or 1-on-4. Excuse me, Kobe. And then, okay, let's go into like a really
get in your bag here. Yeah, get in your bag here.
A really, really deep bag here. Who just like
you said?
Well, I'll say it at the end because he'll.
There's a
once I say the name,
a controversial call. I mean, like I love guys like Lou Williams and Jamal Crawford.
Yeah,
like
auto bucket.
And there's
just
bucket getters, and then like 6 man, you come off the bench, you can give me 20. Like I look at Jordan Clarkson in that as well, modern day, but those guys certainly gave me.
Tell them yours.
Michael Beasley.
Oh, Bees, yeah. Of course, I played with Bees. He was one of them. But, I would put for a big man that only went to the left block and had 2 moves, Al Jefferson will give you buckets all day. When healthy.
He was like that one big guy that transitioned, started shooting from a Ranger. You're like, wait a second, like, hold up. Did you kind of model your game after Big Al? Like, how did you? Because you yourself are like a different player.
Well, we did like the same block, but I had to start changing my game, and I'm thankful for guys like Dirk because he had me shooting threes. My dad would be like, and my dad, he played in the late 60s, early 70s, and he was shooting. He was ahead of his time. Run the floor and shoot. If they had a 3-point line then, he would have been a killer. But Dirk, he moved the game forward to when it became pace and space that big men had to start shooting threes. So I started extending my game. And then when I got to Cleveland, we were just like, let's space the floor for those 2 guys, being LeBron and Kyrie. Let them go to work, and we need shooters all around them. So where it became, let's throw it in the post, and the games were, 95 to 87. Now if you don't score 105, you're losing more than half your games.
Explain what your perception of Spo was before, you always hear Heat culture. I'm sure you thought well of him, but when you get a half a season with him, like, what did you learn about Spo? And give us like a little taste of what makes him the coach that everyone says he is.
This is intensity, man. His intensity and approach to the game. I think you hear that. That's not something that is new, but doing it day after day after day, you really do feel like you look over to the sideline and you have an advantage. Yeah. Some guys are looking over there. It's a new coach or it's a guy they don't fully trust, but, you get in that with him. It's just a completely different feel. And
you ready for this conditioning?
Yeah, that's different too. I was here already.
Oh, I thought that
not through training camp.
Right.
So like I got here.
Training camp? I don't even know.
I got here a couple weeks back, and guys were doing conditioning tests. We were running 10s. We were doing sprints. We were doing all sorts of crazy conditioning. So guys are in shape, and I certainly had to be ready for that. Even is this Dwayne shooting it? I want to see that ball go in.
This is literally
it's foggy, right? It's real foggy.
By the way. Do we know that went in?
We're talking about the Dwayne Wade hole-in-one here. They're looking at it on. This is our main show, just doing show while we do this interview.
Right. Like you know that
I was worried about the knees here.
You know that we could set that same thing up. I could just hit a shot that looks straight, and we could have that reaction.
We'll just jump on you like.
And people would think,
did the ball go in? That is such a great call.
It's a great question.
I didn't see it go in.
Right, and then they walk up to the hole, like, okay, guys, now we're going to put the ball in the hole.
Super cut.
Listen. Dwayne absolutely, but the fact that he was like, I waited for this for 3 years. For 3 years,
right?
A little bit, and he is such an athlete, and I do not put it past him making that. I believe that he made it, but at the same time, but I didn't see it going.
I didn't see it.
It's like remember when we watched? I don't know if you guys watched it, but I certainly watched. I drank the Kool-Aid and watched Game of Thrones. It's like we didn't see the person die.
That's true. Yeah.
So he might come back. She might come back on the show. So I didn't see that ball go in.
Me either.
And I'm not being a hater. Actually, I sort of being a hater because I've never hit a hole-in-one, but especially on that hole too. Like I have played that. I have played that hole twice in my life.
For the people that don't know, that didn't see it, what hole is that? What course is that?
It's Pebble Beach.
Pebble Beach. I don't know what hole. Is it hole like? Is it on the front nine?
It's the one that's into the wind. That's like a 130-yard hole, but you have to hit it like 170 because the wind is just
pushes it back, right?
Either that or it's pushing it towards it. You have to club up, club down. Yeah. You're never hitting your
downhill.
It's so hard. Yeah. No, it's like I don't even know the drop, but it's very tough. Yeah. Very tough.
How's the golf game?
Not great.
Okay.
Better now that you're in Miami, you could play year-round?
Hopefully so, yes. I mean, I have my clubs. Maybe Kyle or Duncan will take me out after. He probably won't after he figures out that you guys are going to ask that question to him. But, yeah, MSG. What a great place to shoot.
Last question here. Tyler Hero obviously was in the news a lot this offseason, a lot of rumors. How do you, as a leader, talking about your leadership, how do you talk to a guy like that, keep him in the right headspace? It seems like he's in the right headspace.
There's the softball I was waiting for. I think for me, I have a unique perspective in that when I was in Cleveland, you guys probably remember this, even if you didn't really pay attention to us. Like I was always in trade conversations, trade rumors when I played great, when I didn't play well, when I was hurt. My first year we had, I even told him last year, I went to go watch him work out when he was in Denver a couple times. I saw that he was in good headspace. Potentially he could have been ready. I didn't really understand where he was at. Conditioning wise, he was great, but I told him like I was in a similar situation that he was in because I got hurt game 4 of the quarterfinals against Boston our first year when we made the finals. Yeah. Kyrie, same thing, got hurt game 1 of the NBA finals in overtime. So like I could really empathize with him and I felt like I could get through to him because of that. But Tyler's my guy. I know he brought that huge chip on his shoulder into the offseason, worked extremely hard. And listen, he's talk about a bucket getter. Yeah. Like he's a guy that's going to go out there and do great. I know he's going to have a big year.
Last question. What do you think of Jimmy's
Jimmy's look?
I want to who was it? Like Death Cab for Cutie or who was Lifestyles the Rich and the Famous? Who was that? It was like Good Charlotte. Yeah. That's who it reminds me of. I'm trying to think. Yeah, that's a great poll back there.
Hey,
that is a great poll. Yeah,
season,
thanks guys.
Thanks, Kev.
It's the Dan Le Batard Show out at Miami Heat Media Day. 10-Day Tony, Jeremy Tache, Chris Cote, and we're very excited. We were told we were going to get multiple Heat players today. Jimmy is a vibe. We just got done with Spo and Jimmy talking at the press conferences, and we're having a lot of fun out here, guys. What are the takeaways from emo Jimmy?
I didn't know how to take it when Jeremy texted us. I think Jimmy's emo, and I'm like, what?
It's true.
I think I put excuse me.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. I was slightly late today to see.
You should have rammed the gate.
Traffic. It's a whole thing.
It was a whole thing. We don't need to get into it. But because of said traffic, I was walking in the tunnels of the arena.
Got a little sneak peek.
And was just behind Jimmy Butler and saw long straight hair coming down his back as he turned a corner. And so I texted the two of you guys, I think Jimmy might be emo today.
And you were not wrong.
And it was right. It was Jimmy Butler World. It was
Andre 3000.
Ball Out Boy.
Yeah.
Little Jimmy Uzi Vert.
And so as we're waiting, we know that this is kind of coming now. We're waiting in the media room for Jimmy to walk in, and I say to the crew, who's going to be the media member that overlaughs at Jimmy? And who was it?
Yeah. Laugh it up.
You. It was you.
I couldn't. It was a quiet room. Okay, I was just trying to.
Can you recreate it?
Everyone
really quick?
knows there's no better background laugh than this thing right here. Okay.
Do it right now. You can do it on command. You said.
Oh, that's good.
See, I can unleash that thing whenever it's needed, and I did it because I felt the silence. And Tony knows I hate silence. And Jimmy walked in, and there was silence, so I threw out the laugh, and he reacted to my laugh. He goes, "Laugh it up, guys. Laugh it up." I'm in my emo state.
We may have gotten the very best soundbite of the entire day. At the beginning of the day,
because of this laugh,
thanks to Chris Cote's
and it was just a laugh.
Yeah, it was totally fake. It wasn't even funny. Fake laugh. But the best is, I was just like, "Who's gonna do it? Who's gonna be the guy?" And it was me.
It was you, man. You stepped into the breach when nobody could. You did it.
But also a good moment.
All right, we're here at Heat Media Day with Jaime Jaquez Jr., UCLA first-round pick for the Miami Heat. How you like Miami, first and foremost?
I mean, I love it, man. I love it. There's what's there not to love? It's beautiful.
A little hot.
Nah,
I mean, but you'd rather it be hot or you'd rather it be like freezing cold.
That's true.
Exactly.
That's true.
Exactly.
We were talking to Kevin Love before, and he said that he's just going to give you nonstop, boring, old man UCLA stories. So we just wanted to prepare you for that and give you a little heads up that that's going to be coming your way. So we got to deflect those things.
Yeah, he's probably old enough to play for John Wooden, too. I'm just kidding.
What can Heat fans expect from you this year? For Heat fans that haven't watched you a lot of UCLA, because it's hard to stay up for West Coast games over here, I'm not going to lie. But, I've watched your game a lot, obviously. Right. But for the Heat fans that haven't, because there's been some debate amongst Heat fans whether you're going to play small forward, power forward. Like, where do you see yourself fitting in on this team?
Well, from my experience at UCLA, I played a lot of different positions. I played from point guard to the big man to the 5. So I think I have a lot of flexibility.
Can we see?
If you want, hey, man. I don't know.
That's crazy.
That's a lot. It's our first day. We'll do it next time.
You've played in Miami Pro League. You've been obviously the NCAA. Now you get into the NBA. Who's the hooper that you've lined up against? You've been like, damn, he's legit.
I mean, there's a lot, man. Once you get to the league, you realize, oh wow, everyone's nasty. Everyone's nasty. I mean, college, everyone can hit a shot, but when you get to the NBA, everyone can get a bucket, and I think that's like the biggest difference.
Could you ever date someone as famous as Taylor Swift?
Man, I don't know. If I loved them enough, yeah, I could. But
good for the brand, though, right?
Yeah,
dating
good
Taylor
for the
Swift.
Brand. Yeah,
Kelsey's added like 1 million followers on social.
I love him. Good. God bless him, man. God bless him.
It seems like a lot, though. I was watching football the other night, and it's just like, all right, we're going to show her after he didn't even do anything. It seems like a lot.
Yeah, no. I mean, she's Taylor Swift, one of the biggest.
Are you a Swiftie?
Am I a Swiftie?
It's okay. It's a safe space. Safe space.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I don't like Taylor Swift. I'm just not a Swiftie.
Okay.
I think she's got some good songs.
What's the music you're playing in the locker room?
I'm playing a lot. I've been putting the guys on Tame Impala. That was what I was playing last time. I don't know. You guys know Tame Impala?
Jeremy Tache just perked up over here.
Yeah, Tame Impala.
A bit.
Yeah.
He's super white.
Yeah.
Have you gotten noticed outside where you've been like, oh yeah, hold up, can I take a picture with you? Like,
yeah.
A couple times?
I would say more than a couple. I would say, usually once at least, if I go outside, like to the store, at least like one person will come up to me.
Really?
Yeah.
This guy gets noticed all the time.
Really?
You'd be surprised how much this guy gets noticed.
I don't know why you just put that on me. We're talking about him right now. Like maybe at sporting events, but not as much as you. Why are we talking about me right now? Back to this guy. Like, what are you doing?
This guy's a star of the show, man.
Have you ever dressed up as a pirate for Halloween? I feel like you could crush it.
I have. I think you ever seen Zorro?
Oh, you can do Zorro too.
You kill Zorro.
Fire.
Zorro, Indiana Jones. I don't know what I'm going to be this year. Actually, I do know what I'm going to be, but I'm not going to tell you guys.
I got a Halloween party at my house if you want to come.
All right,
yeah.
All right, I'm going to be Aquaman. Aquaman. Cats and everything.
All right, dude. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me. That was great.
That was awkward. This is the ending. I thought
you were gonna hit
I
something
thought we got a
else.
wrap. We got the wrap.
When you check your phone, I was like, oh, he's got something. Hold on, I'm gonna lay out for my boy.
My guy's panicking here. Sorry about that. Yeah, you're good.
Chris, you feel good about that one?
Not my best moment. Look,
so
there's a
awkward.
lot going on. I'm not going to make
Can
excuses.
you give the play-by-play of what happened
and
from
say
your
how
point of
Adnan
view?
Burke was confused. It was distracting me on a Zoom.
He's
that
still
I'm
there, by
rolling
the
here.
way.
He's still there. I was trying to roll on a whatever. See, it's not important.
It is.
It was
it
a
is
terrible
important.
ending to that interview. Still a fun interview though, and he could crush as a pirate.
He did. I think it was Zorro, excuse me.
Yeah,
it was
he was
Zorro that he
Zorro.
crushed us. But from my vantage point, and
This is
Jeremy was
perfect.
standing behind me, so obviously Jaime's next to us. Yeah. We're in the middle, and we're about to land the puppy for, for the last final
Good
question.
interview. Yeah.
Good interview. Got him to open up about a couple things. And then I see my teammate right here.
Looking at my phone.
Look at his phone,
Yep.
where I know he's got questions. He looks at his computer, which I see he has other questions. And I'm like, oh, all right. Chris has got the ball. I'm going to lay out. My boy's going to ask the final question. We're going to go home.
And I said, thanks for joining us. Well, how did I say it, Jeremy?
Yeah. God, I'm trying to
They
remember
just heard it. I said it
exactly how
terribly.
was.
Thanks for
Yeah,
joining us.
I said like an open-ended,
Yeah, it
thanks
was
for
very
joining us, as if
open-ended.
I was going to ask a question, and then I just sat there, and then I threw my
The
hand
best
out.
part is the
Yeah,
hand.
the hand at the end.
The hand at the
So
end, like,
it's-
all right, yeah, get out of
Thanks
here.
for joining us.
Thanks.
All right, here's a hand.
Seriously, thanks.
No, here's a hand.
No, seriously, thanks.
Let me throw this dead fish in your lap.
I can't be any worse with Duncan Robinson. Or can I? Let's find out.
Ooh. Madison Square Garden, one of the best places to shoot on earth. Your thoughts?
Are you guys messing with me?
Yeah.
Okay.
We talked to Kevin Love.
You talked to
earlier.
Kevin. All right.
We talked to
Just
Kevin.
making sure, because I almost hit you with the media, like, oh, there's nothing like the garden. All this stuff.
That's what he said you would say.
I saw like you started to crack a little bit in the face. So I was like, all right, he's definitely on to something. I will say this about the Garden. I'm going to give it a fair review. Unbelievable place to play. Nothing like it.
Okay.
The rims are 1,000% tighter than the rest of the NBA.
Really?
So if the NBA is saying that it's a universal rim,
They're lying. You don't have to say it. I'll say it. They're lying.
Yeah.
Is it insulting when people and fans and Twitter are like surprised that you can dribble and drive to the hoop? Because my timeline goes crazy. Anytime you make a move to the hoop, and it's just like, guys, he's a basketball player. He can do this.
Yeah, I appreciate you saying
it's just
that.
like,
I do appreciate
because you have that part in your game, but people every time are like, did you see Dunn? It's like, yeah, he can
Well,
do
the
that.
interesting thing, too, is like, now this is sixth media day for me, so I feel like I'm becoming a
Grizzled vet.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to
But
call you the UD.
it's almost like every media day, somebody at some point will reference like, we saw you like do all these different things with your game, and it's like, okay, well if you're saying that every single year, maybe at some point that's just like
just my
kind
game.
of what I'm capable of now. We no longer need to be surprised by that. Not saying that I'm like, ISO and people take people off the dribble, but
I've seen
I'm
it.
capable of like cutting backdoor and dribbling 1 to 2 times to the basket. I'm actually capable of a little bit more.
That's what I'm
It's just
saying.
That I'm not necessarily
I just want you to know
asked to.
I'm not surprised when you do
I
it.
appreciate
Wow.
that. That means a lot.
That's
Thank
good.
you.
That's breaking news for me,
Thank
by
you
the
very
way.
much.
You're
Thank
welcome.
Who's the guy that you faced where you're like, oh wow, this guy is on another level? Like, we're NBA players, we're great players. This guy's like up here.
I think there's a handful. I think we got a couple in our locker room. I
Some
mean,
dogs?
Yeah, it was just like Jimmy's performance last year in the playoffs. Particularly
Who's the
in
guy
that
you wouldn't
first round.
expect though? Like, because everyone would say like LeBron, like not top 10 guy, but it's just a guy that's like, damn, that guy.
Top 5 dogs?
Wouldn't expect. I mean, I think everyone would expect
Underrated
Jokic,
dogs.
but like
Yeah.
his impact on the game is obviously we all saw it in the finals. Underrated dogs. I will say this. I'm going to give a shout out to a former teammate of mine in college. Jordan Poole is
Bucket.
insanely skilled. I mean, his ability with the ball in his hands is. There are not many people like him on the planet.
Who's the moderator of the team group chat?
The moderator is Scott Gurka, who you probably don't even know. He's
Gurk.
the
Scott.
chief of staff.
Gurks.
Yeah. He runs the group chat.
Mac Jones is trash, right?
Say it.
He's struggling. I mean, the pitchers are struggling. I will say that.
Is it tough to spend time on the bench and then being known as a shooter, you got to come out hot, even though you haven't touched the ball in an hour, and you're like, I don't know how I'm going to get hot here, but I got to.
Yeah, it's definitely a challenge. I think that's like a skill that I've gotten better with throughout my career. Understand that I've played a lot of different roles since I've been in the NBA, and sometimes it's not always going to be on your terms. You're going to have to come in after sitting for a quarter and a half and come in and make one. So it's just something you get better at, as you get older. So.
Nothing better than seeing the ball go through that net that first time.
Two shooters.
Hold
Two
up, I
shooters
got
just
it.
talking about.
Hold up.
100%.
When you
Still
make the
haven't
first
you
one,
haven't shown him the shot yet.
Yeah, I want to see the shot.
all right, here we go. Let me pull it up
I mean,
real quick.
I guarantee you
here
it's
at
a make.
AAA,
It's going to be a
Casillas,
miss,
I'm
right? It's
sorry.
not going to be a miss.
No, hold up. It was during the big 3. Here we go.
That's pure.
Thank you.
I
Hold
mean,
up. Here we go. This is
coming
4 in a
down.
row. It was a
I
quick
like
4 in a
that.
row. Hold up.
Oh, we're going to watch all 4.
Yeah, here we
Okay.
go. Another
You got
one.
the elbow
Splash
tuck.
down.
What are
Come
we
on.
doing?
Elbows all net. I like that.
Here we go.
Okay.
Got to get ready, right?
Oh, wow, it's
Gotta get
rant.
your base
Shot
set.
ready, prep.
Dude, you just got done telling
Up
me
and
how
go.
tired you were
Let's
after
go.
this.
I know,
Just
because that was
shooting
a
around.
77 shot. I was exhausted.
Looks pure, man.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Here, look at this one.
You don't have to do
Oh,
this
right
to him.
there.
I don't really have a lot of notes for you. What happened on the 5th?
Fifth one, I missed it
Okay.
because I was exhausted.
So we cut that out. That's
No, it was in.
It's
I
all
just
about good editing. There you go.
exactly, but
What's more difficult, podcasting or hoops?
ooh, good
Hoops
question.
is. But I will say the most difficult above everything else is tracking down NBA players to
get on
come
your podcast.
Imagine not being an NBA player and
That's
trying
the
to do
most
it.
difficult because at least playing hoops is physically possible. Getting NBA players to consistently come on a podcast is
We feel that.
What is your text when it's somebody that you're not too close with, but you want to get them on the pod? You don't want to come out right away with,
Yeah.
come on my pod. You got to hit
Yeah.
them with just some sort of, hey, how's it going?
What's up,
type
bro?
thing before
Well,
you start laying the
here's thing.
foundation like days in advance.
Here's the thing. Yes, I learned to get to that point.
Right.
But if you just go like, hey, what's going on, man? Like, how's the family? Blah, blah.
know.
That's all fluff, and they know.
Right.
So if you're going to just do that,
Just
you might
get
as
to
well
it.
just come out with
Right.
it.
You the guest you want.
Yeah.
Who we going
I would love
for?
to get Steph from
Yeah.
a basketball standpoint.
I'll put in a call.
He's got the underdog story as well. I mean, he just ties right into it
Yeah.
for sure. So Steph would be great. This has been a blast, and I would love to come to the studio and do it, but I've been here for like 2.5 hours
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
already.
Yeah.
This has been at least the most this has been a different interview than the other ones.
1,000%. And that's why if you want to run it another time, I'm happy to
All right,
do it.
we'll run it back another 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do a
sometime
pod where
next
we
week.
just go through our phones.
We'll text you. We'll text you
Sure.
and
Yeah.
plant the
Sounds
seeds
good.
and stuff.
Appreciate you joining us, dude.
Absolutely. Appreciate
Thanks,
you guys.
What a fun day we had out here. Jeremy is literally frozen. He's frozen now. We should have worked the bit out earlier where you were like frozen.
Well, we
but
can
it's
start
still
again.
really cold. Really fun day at Heat Day. Thanks to the Miami Heat for hooking us up like they always do.
As always.
We're out here. Tony really wanted to shoot a basketball in this hoop behind us.
I
and
was
he
so
didn't.
close too.
How did
There's
that-
a ball back there that they're taking pictures with, and I grabbed it like 3 times. Like, oh, but you
this
can't
got-
bounce the ball
But
here.
this has got me legitimately fired up for the season.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna be that guy that just buys into the Heat culture.
As you should.
We have enough. There's enough in this building
Wow.
right here. I'm gonna steal Jeremy's lane. We have enough.
What have I been trying to say? What have I been trying
You
to
think we got enough, Tony? Say we don't. You got to take.
say? We don't got enough.
Oh, we have enough. we have enough.
Yeah. See ya. Back to you, Dan.